In the last video, we learned how to set up an empty stage in Isaac Lab, configured the simulation context, and ran a simple simulation loop. And in this tutorial, we will learn how to add prims into the stage. By the end, you will know how to spawn a ground plane, add lights, create shapes, and even import assets like tables into the scene. Like in the last video, I will first execute the code and show the scene. After, I will go over the code step by step. So let us execute the code and start the simulation. What we can observe are multiple static and dynamic prims, such as a camera, lightning, multiple shapes like cones and cubes, as well as a table. Before we jump into the code, I want to first define what a prim is. So a prim, short for primitive, is like a building block into a 3D scene. You can think of it as a piece of the environment, such as a shape like a box, sphere, or a cylinder, a functional component like light or a camera, or a more complex element such as a robot, table, or floor. Each prim has properties like size, color, or position, and relationships, for example, connections to other prims. They can also have physics properties such as mass, friction, or collision behavior, allowing them to interact dynamically within the simulation. So let's dive into the code. As we have already covered how to set up and start the simulation in the first tutorial, as well as how to control and manage it, I will only cover the new function design scene, which is called in the main function. Before we start spawning the prims, we first need to import three modules. The first import from the isaac.core library is the utils.prims, which we will use to create an Xform. I will introduce the concept of the Xform later. The second import specifically made for Isaac Lab is the .sim, imported as simutils, which we have already utilized in the last tutorial to control the simulator, and now also used to spawn different objects and materials into Omniverse and to modify these. And lastly, also from the Isaac Lab directory is the utils.asset, where we import the directory to the Isaac Nucleus server. The Nucleus server is a platform for real-time collaboration and sharing of 3D assets and USD scenes. When installed from the Omniverse launcher, you can find various assets in the localhost, like this robot. Now, inside the design function, we will have a look at how to create different types of prims, starting off with a ground plane. As we can see, a configuration object, CFG ground, is created. While other methods like direct USD APIs would work too, they are a bit harder to learn. Therefore, Isaac Lab simplifies it by offering a configuration-driven interface through the sim.spawners module. Here, each prim is defined using a configuration class, which specifies its attributes and relationships, which we will see later. These configuration classes are then used with spawner functions to place prims into the scene. We can think of the configuration objects like blueprints. Now coming to the func method, it spawns the prim into the scene by interpreting the configuration settings, which acts as a pointer to the internal function spawn ground plane, which we cannot see here, but it contains the logic for creating and placing a ground plane. I want to take some time to explain this concept a bit better, as just looking at the code makes it maybe hard to understand, and also because almost the whole tutorial is based on this. So as previously mentioned, we can think of the configs like blueprints, which are initialized with specific attributes. For example, we can initialize a cone with a specific radius and height. Now when calling the func method on a configuration object, it triggers the spawn function, which uses the configuration attributes, like radius height for a cone, and creates the prim at the specific path in the USD stage. The configuration configs inherit from the spawner CFG, where func is defined as a generic interface and dynamically assigned to the spawn functions. To put it simple, we create a blueprint or config with specific attributes and call the spawn function with the func method to create the prim. Now that we understood how to create prims using config files, we can look at different sort of prims. For example, this distant light, which takes two attributes, the intensity of the light and a color, and will be spawned at the position world, with also a translation, which is kind of pointless because the distant light is infinitively far from the origin, but it will count for other lights such as sphere, disk, and cylinder. Before adding object prims to the scene, we want to group them in order to create a structure. Here, we introduce a last but very useful concept, the transform prim, or Xform. A transform prim is a prim that contains only transformation properties. It is used to group other prims under it and to transform them as a group. Here, we make an Xform prim to group all the primitive shapes under world/objects. When selecting the Xform, all prims will move together, except for one which causes errors because it's not transformable. Now under the created Xform, we will create two cones which have a radius and a height, and also a visual material which assigns a red color. One cube will be on the left and one cube will be on the right. And as we can observe here, under objects, we have two cones which both have a material, and its shader gives us the red color and the diffuse color. Now we look at how to create prims with physics. First, we add a rigid cone which will have physics attributes such as a rigid body, a mass, and collision attributes. For deformable objects, we define a deformable cube. The deformable props argument defines the internal behavior of the object as a deformable body, specifying how it stretches, bends, or compresses under forces. The physical material argument configures the external interactions, such as friction, density, or restitution. Together they ensure the cube behaves realistically. We can see that the green cone is colliding with the table and the cube is deformable. With the very last prim, we can see how to spawn prims from another file. Formats can be, for example, USD, URTF, or object files. Here we will import a USD table from the nucleus, which already comes in with mesh and material prims, as well as physics attributes such as collision. It is added as a reference to the scene, which means that the original USD will not be changed. It is merely a pointer. One important note is that all prims must be spawned before the simulation starts, as adding new prims during the simulation can disrupt GPU physics buffers and cause unexpected behavior. To conclude, in this tutorial we have learned how to add various prims to the stage, including ground planes, lights, primitive shapes with and without physics, deformable objects, and assets imported from external files. If you have found the tutorial helpful and want to see more, consider subscribing. Also comment on what you would like to see next. Thank you. Bye.